want to introduce you all to Brother Break Free. His channel is Breaking Free from Narcissistic Abuse. I've been following him for a while. We've been following each other for a while, and decided to collab to talk about some important topics to help people overcome certain things that they're dealing with, mainly pertaining to gang stalking and narcissistic abuse. Um, so when it comes down to gang stalking, um, I personally feel, and I would like for you to share your thoughts, brother, that it kind of makes you feel like you're in a simulation being watched by a certain group of people. And from my experiences, it's always been family and people that I've lived around. Um, it's like any little thing that you're getting into, they know about it, or if you tell them one thing, they just spread it to everybody else. Um, but it also goes deeper than that.
Mhm.
Brother Break Free, what kind of experiences or what things have you seen when it came to gang stalking?
Well, first of all, it's a pleasure to be here with you. This is our first collaboration. You can just call me Bruce. That's my first name.
Yes,
Um,
sir.
what comes to mind about gang stalkers is, you have to remember that there's two things about these gang stalkers. Is one is craftiness, and the other
Hmm.
is deception. These two are extremely dangerous. If you think
Hmm.
about the intellect of individuals that tends to bring about smear campaigns.
Hmm.
One of the things that I want to touch on is craftiness because what Gang Stalker is so good at is they're very good at gaining control of their surroundings. You know what I mean? When it
Hmm.
comes to manipulation. And I've experienced this with so many people throughout my life and throughout this whole year is to see how crafty they are when it comes to control, right? For instance,
Hmm.
you could be friends with someone for a very long time, right? But you never know what goes on behind closed doors once you leave that circle, right? But the
Hmm.
other thing is when you go back around these individuals, you can feel negativity in the air, like this energy, you know what I mean? Like you can never say that, vibes doesn't lie. Vibes does not lie, right?
Hmm.
And if there's any fallout or anything that goes on within that circle with you and this person, they will immediately crush you with a lot of smearing, a lot of lies, and
Hmm.
they will form a huge mob against you. It's like some Jim Jones shit, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Hmm.
this whole occulted stuff that people do is, if there's something that goes wrong and something that you disagree with, I mean, it could be a conversation, and you don't agree with what someone else says, they will automatically have people, which I call them flying monkeys, to spy on
Hmm.
you. You know what I mean? And this is where this whole craftiness takes place. Is they will infiltrate what's going on with you or what you're doing through these flying monkeys. So
Hmm.
they will report to their leaders and to really let them know what's been said or what you're doing and whatnot. And no matter
Hmm.
how far you try to move forward, they will always find a way to stalk you. I mean, they will have maybe 4 or 5 or 20 people to see what you're doing. You know what I mean? For example, I recently left Instagram. I don't fool with social media no more. Not Facebook either. I've had a lot of
Hmm.
people just out of the blue come and follow me, just stalking me, just harassing me. Doing all kinds of
Hmm.
stuff. You know what I mean? And that really lets me know like how dangerous this whole thing can be. You know what I mean? Just because of a fallout or someone has to have a different opinion about you. You know what I mean? So how they feel about you, they want their circle to feel the same way. And these are people who you never met in your life, who you never talked to. It just goes to show who these people really are and how dangerous that they can be.
Hmm.
And this is how craftiness, takes place. Then you have the deception. Okay, they would try to go out of their way to let people know that they're not this type of person, that they're this goody two shoes person. They haven't done anything wrong, and they will convince and persuade uh, their congregation that they haven't done nothing wrong. And 9 out of 10 people will fall for the lies. They will fall for the deception. You know what I mean? And so if you take two and put two together, this is how game stalkers, this is how they operate, this is how they live daily, is to destroy you. That's their whole plot, is to destroy you. Make sure that, hey, whether you start a YouTube channel or whatever that you want to do, they will get anybody or everyone to not um, support you, because they will spread a lot of things that's not true. And that had to happen to me a lot of times since I started this channel. And
Mhm.
the thing is, there was one time that I was fed up, but then again, I had to sit back and think, you know what? This is exactly what they want me to do. They want me to rile up. They want me to get angry. You know what I mean? So the only way you can outsmart these game stalkers is by beating them at their own game. But you gotta
Mhm.
use your head. You know. And
Mhm.
so this is like one of the experiences, according to your question, is what I've experienced
Mhm.
with these people. And even today, they still stalk my page, but I don't give them no type of attention. I just ignore them. You know what I mean? They can dislike my videos. They could say whatever they want to other people. It don't bother me anymore like it did before, because once you let these game stalkers inside your head, they pretty much got you. They got you
Right.
with a snap of the finger, because they want to get
That's true.
inside here. You know.
Mhm. That's true. I agree with everything you saying. It's like they don't do this. They don't do this to any and everybody. It's specific people that they look for. A lot of us who are considered chosen ones or empathic people, people who are genuine,
Hmm.
we mainly stand out. We never really fit in with the crowd, and we kind of do our own thing. And it's
Yeah.
like you said, with you leaving social media, it's like they can't keep tabs on you and things like that.
Hmm.
So basically, like for example, with me, every job I've had, um, every coworker or somebody higher up has came at me. Um, it's like they try to turn everybody else against me to stress me out, to where I'd be like, you know what, I quit. I quit this job. I'm sick and tired of it. People always coming at me. So me and jobs personally have not been the best.
Hmm.
Working in office spaces, that's where a lot of gang stalking comes from. It's
Oh, I
like
see.
it's like, when you don't stand around and talk about nothing with somebody, or you're not laughing at certain people's jokes, or you don't agree with whatever it is that they they're trying to get you to agree with. Instantly they're gonna say so much stuff behind your back. And gang stalking is deep, because sometimes, well, there was this article of a lady. She every time she came home, she found traces of people being in her house. It's just her and her son living in the house. But there was people that would come in her house, rearrange things. They would mess with her psychologically like that. I think she
Mm,
was a melanated sister. I'm not sure if that article's still on YouTube, but
mm,
it gets to the point where even like the harassment, they call it noise campaigns. A lot of times when I try to do content, it'll be noises randomly, like helicopters or airplanes or police sirens, or especially when you're talking about something really, really important, something that needs to get out. There's times where, I had to do like a take five, take six, take seven. Like, oh hi, this is times with the narcissist playing. Ah, damn, I done met the damn police rolled by.
right.
Had this, you
I
know.
know what you're
So,
talking about.
so, you know, like even me personally, even at the house that I live, sometimes they'll just fly a helicopter right over my house at like 1, 2 in the morning, just making noise, buzzing, being aggravating, or they'll send like a loud moped riding by, just to disturb. It's like whatever they try to do.
Hmm.
And I personally, brother Bruce, I personally don't know why the wicked is so busy trying to disturb people's peace, but it's something internally wrong with them. And I think currently in this day and age, in this climate, the spiritual warfare is amplifying day by day as we're heading into 2023.
Hmm.
It's like we have to be very careful of who we allow into our circle, especially in our aura field,
Yes.
because we naturally have a powerful aura field that certain people they pick up on it and they want to try to manipulate it or use it to their advantage. Or
Hmm.
at least for me, throughout my life, people try to use me as a stepping stone, um, to elevate themselves. Basically use me as a sacrificial lamb to support their cause. So when you bring up stuff like, cut off toxic foes, cut off toxic family members, I totally agree with that, brother Bruce, because a lot of times growing up, and I think a lot of people who's watching, they've probably been through this, where um, if you're a real empath or a real chosen one, you was a scapegoat where people used you for so many different things, and it's like they took advantage of our love, you know.
Yes.
So I'm starting to understand that a loving spirit is rare, and
Hmm.
especially nowadays, a loving, genuine spirit is rare.
Yes.
So I think with us, we have our soul family, those who we can connect with, who are striving to live for the Most High and things like that. But it's just the fact that we have to be aware everywhere we go, because we are literally surrounded by energy vampires, gang
Oh yeah.
stalkers, and a lot of times people just want to throw us in their dirt trap, you know, keep us
Hmm.
in a box, don't want to let our creativity grow,
Right.
you know. So, that's part of some of the experiences that I've had. Me and Jobs weren't really the best. Um, like what would you say is a good advice on how to like keep a level head when you're being gang stalked and things like that?
Well, the most important thing that I learned in life, what my father, my late father, oh
Mhm.
man, I miss my father, who's been dead for 2 months now. Um, he taught me a lot. I looked at my father as my hero because he always gave me great advice. And I'm glad you asked that because how you could cope with this is through awareness. Someone had typed something at the comment section about awareness
Well,
because that's what I was thinking about.
mhm,
My father always used to tell me is when you get around people, always observe and pay close attention. Look at their body language. You know what I mean?
mhm,
So that the more you use observation, the more you can increase your self awareness. You know what I mean?
mhm,
And when you know that something isn't right about the people who you surround yourself with, flee, get away, right?
mhm,
When they want to run their mouth and talk a lot of, BS, it's like, hey,
mhm.
laugh, because see, I've grown so accustomed of laughing, and people like even today, they can't stand when I laugh. They be like, man, what's so funny? And I don't say anything. I just laugh, but I'm laughing at their ignorance. You know what I'm saying? I'm laughing
Yeah.
at how they choose to carry on when they say things about me or people. When I'm surrounding myself with a lot of work and everything. Because when you talked about things that you had to deal with, at your workplace. See, you and I, whether you notice or not, we're similar in many ways because I dealt with so many garbage at work, like where people would just
Mhm.
talk and gossip about a lot of people, and they would try to pull me into their drama, and I just get them a look like, no, ain't dealing with you, man.
Right.
You know what I mean? And then I keep walking, and then be like, man, you're just lame. You're not cool. And I just laugh it off because like, look, you don't know me. You know what I mean? So well, you can say
Mhm,
whatever you want to say about me, right? But the best advice that I could give you is to keep a level head, is to increase your self awareness, and
mhm,
don't so much let people inside your head. You know what I mean? It's because
mhm,
they feel on your emotions. You know what I mean? And see, that plays a big role in our life is your emotion. What what ticks you off? What buttons
mhm,
that when they press that you will go off, right? And I mean, and it's easier said than done. You know what I mean? I mean, and that's something I'm still working on myself. But as you put it
mhm,
to practice every day, you will see yourself getting accustomed to it. You know what I mean? Like, hey,
mhm,
it doesn't matter how many buttons that they press. Look, I'm not going to give in to my emotions so they can, they can get power out of me. You know what I mean? Because
mhm,
one thing that my brother always told me is you can never change what people think about you. You can never change how they feel about you or the way they perceive you. And I get this all the time. When people look at me, they'll sit there and say, "Oh, I'm a mean person," but you don't know me. You haven't came up to me and talked to me to get to
Right.
know Bruce. You know what I mean? But it's like what they
Mhm.
choose to perceive. I let them keep that perception to themselves. You know what I mean? Let them keep their
Mhm.
perceptions and just focus on keeping your level headed as you know hey it doesn't matter. I know who I am. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you don't have to step outside yourself and prove something to someone. It's like, hey, let them talk, let them keep their perceptions about how they feel about you. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yes,
And
sir.
I hope that I'm making sense here of what I'm saying,
Mhm.
because I never understood what self awareness meant growing up. I never knew what that word meant until my father taught me this.
Mhm.
And man, I wish he was here with me, because you know every time we get together, we always go deep in a lot of life topics. On how we can better ourselves as men. You know,
Yeah.
and he has so much of wisdom. And that's where I get my wisdom from. A lot of people tell me, man, Bruce, you get your wisdom from your father, because and I
Mhm.
believe it's true. um
Yeah.
but that's how I'm able to move on with my life. Is what happened in the past. And that's the thing too that I want to say is, you know narcissists or gang stalkers, they love to hit on how you used to be. You know what I mean? Who you were
Mhm.
before in your past, it's dead. It's dead. But see,
Mhm.
that's something that they keep in memory to discourage you, the new you. You know what I mean? See, you
Mhm.
killed off the old man, and now you are a new Aaron. I am a new
Mhm.
Bruce. So
Mhm.
that's what they feed on, is the past.
Yes,
And I
sir.
and I'm gonna be real with you, man. I struggled with that for a very long time.
Yes.
I remember one time I wanted to give up. I want to give up. Like, man, no matter how much I change, I guess they're right. But then my dad slapped me upside the head. It's like, boy, what you think you doing? You know what I mean? Don't ever let nobody talk you down or disrespect you. No, you better than that, son. You better than that.
Mhm.
Because when my dad slapped me upside the head, man, I can still feel it. It's like electric. You know,
Yeah.
it brought me back to reality. Don't
Yeah.
ever let no one come to disrespect you. You know what I mean? You
Yeah.
know who you are. Don't feed off that negativity of others, because there's something about you. And I want to say this too. There's something about you, Aaron. It's this glow, and I see it, and I'm sure many people on this live or who will see it, they will see this glow too. You have a tremendous glow about you, and people see it, and they despise it. Why? It's because there's a great power over you, and they hate it. Because why? They wish they had what you had. And see, they had that
Okay.
same opportunity, but they choose to grasp darkness over light, right? And
Yes, sir.
um, and so that's what my family always used to tell me, like there's a glow about me, but yet look, they
Mhm.
they hate me, and that's why I
Yeah.
had to cut them all off. I had to cut both sides of my family off. You know,
Yeah.
so like I said on my live stream yesterday, I don't know if you had a chance to watch it, but I said this last
Mhm.
night is the only way you're gonna make it to where you need to be, you gotta let go, or you will
Let it
never
go.
ever get to where you need to get to.
Yes, sir. I totally agree, and I just want to expound on a few things that you said. Basically, it took me a while to keep a level of calmness when in the face of adversity. When I wouldn't even call them people; I would call them demons. I used to be a hothead. I used to go to war with a lot of people back in the days. I had to tell myself I can't go to war with everybody because if I let all the ignorant stuff that people do get to me, I would be in jail by now. So
Right.
I had to find a way to be strategic, like you said. Whatever they say, there's no point in trying to argue with them because people ain't gonna change anyways. And
Mm-hmm.
so I agree with you on that. And also, uh, to let you know, brother Bruce, you also have a glow as well, and it's a powerful glow, and you speak from a powerful truth, and that right there, not a lot of people have is because the culture is to play around, be about nonsense, and you know single out people who are different and don't want to be involved with that culture. So being an old soul, you know, uh, not everybody has that, and not everybody um, carries that kind of genuine authenticity to where they have an awareness of their own actions. Because somebody I know always say they can't see past their nose. All they see is themselves. They can't see the actions and how they portray it to other people. So getting upset about what other people do, uh, quite it can be. It's practice, should I say? Not
Yeah,
letting them get to you, not letting them get inside your head. But like you said, letting go of certain things from the past, letting go of certain people. I've learned that letting go of certain people, your surroundings determines how high you climb. Unfortunately, not a lot of people bring a lot of positivity to where when you want to elevate and grow and do new things, somebody's always trying to put you down or trying to poke at your plans and things like that. And
hmm
that's the kind of stuff that I've been through. But I think a lot of the stuff that we've been through wisened us up and made us more equipped for the warfare on how to navigate. Somebody likes to say the devil's playground. So
right.
we just have to be more equipped with the warfare, indeed. And I just want to say sorry about your dad's passing. I'm sure he was an amazing man. And you know, me on the other hand, me and my father didn't have a really good relationship. Um, so I had to really grow up and, bump my head a few times and learn a few things on my own. But
I
that's how
understand.
I'm able to share. But it's good to see that there's fathers still involved, still being, how should I say, being a good role model and picking us up when we need it. So I'm sure, sorry about him being gone and things like that. And I'm sure uh, he was a great man
Oh
indeed.
yes, oh
Yeah.
yes, absolutely. And the thing that really still bothers me today that I'm trying to get past, I don't think I ever will because whatever happens to us, the memory will always be in here.
Mhm.
Everybody had my phone number, my cell and my house number. Like as if I'm not home, hey, I have my cell phone. At least send me a text or call me. Let me know what happened. The last time I spoke to my father, um, well, we did a FaceTime. He couldn't speak, because my younger brother he jumped on my dad which um, really blew me off. Like, why would you do that to your own father? This is our father. And, when you have a weak condition, a weak heart, and you just constantly battering people who is weak in the body, you give them eternal damage, you know? So
Mhm.
that caused that effect of not allowing my dad to speak, you know? And seeing him on FaceTime, I just let the tears flow because I wasn't used to seeing my dad that way. I wasn't used to seeing my dad in any wheelchair. He was always healthy, strong, um, independent. So he had strokes. He had strokes left and right. And it really tore me apart when they didn't tell me of his passing. And it still affects me
Mhm.
to this day.
Mhm.
But here's the good thing: I had a dream where I saw my dad. He was wearing all white. This ancient white robe, or it just he was wearing all white,
Mhm.
and I remember crying in my dream, and then I woke up, and this is truth, and I even told my wife, I told my mom, everybody is I saw my dad. He was standing right here where I'm sitting at, and my bed's like way over there. You know how you wake up and your vision's kind of blurry. I
Mhm.
saw the structure of his face because we have the same
Mhm.
structure. They say I look like my father. And I know that was him. And he had this wide smile. He was letting me know that where he's at, he's okay. He doesn't
Mhm.
feel any more pain. You know. And my narcissistic family, um, they it's just like it's a big joke to them of not letting me know that he passed away. You know,
Mhm.
and but I know in my heart that where he's at, he's at peace. And
Mhm.
seeing him just for that split second, because you know how you wake up and the vision's gone. You know, it's just gone, just like that. You know, but I know in my heart that he's with me. He's watching over me. You know,
Mhm.
and you know, it really it just it battered me so much. Like that's the most evil thing you could do is not let someone know that their loved one passed away.
Mhm.
That's just pure evil. We live in a society where everybody sided with the devil. They love the devil more than they love the Most High. And
Mhm.
you know, looking back on my life experience, the people who I've encountered. Now, not to say everyone that I met was bad. No, there were a lot of good people who I still to this day consider close friends that were genuine to me, you know, and they have a special place in my heart. But there were those who were just, you know, sorry to say this, but those were just assholes to the core. I have no respect for them. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
I have no respect. And with these people who are still stalking my content, your content, and everyone else's, it just goes to show how cowardly they really are
Mhm.
behind, you know, the phone, the computer, or whatever device that they use. And the thing is gang stalkers in general, they would never ever come to us face to face
Right.
because they know that we are the real deal. They are
Mhm.
scared of the truth. Just like when they see our glow, they don't want to approach us. They
Mhm.
want to stay in the dark. Like let's say I turn off the light right now and it's pitch black. They love the dark, you know. But when they see our faces,
Mhm.
when they see your face, they can't stand it because they see the truth all over you, man. They see it
Mhm.
because they know what they've done to you. They can't face it. You know, my
Mhm.
family don't want to see my face. Why? Because they know what they did to me and what they did to my mom and what they did to my father. You know, and
Mhm.
that just goes to show how cowardly people are. But they want to
Yes.
act tough, right? But they want to act tough when they're around their groups of people. You know what I mean? You know how you get around certain people and they want to have this little like they want to act funny. They don't want to look at you. They want to have this smirk like, I don't know why he here. I don't know why she here. You know. But when your
Mhm.
back is turned, oh, they're go to talking. But when you're
Mhm.
present, oh, hmm, they don't want to
Right.
say anything.
Right. Yes. Yes. I agree. I
Yes.
agree. Mhm.
Mhm.
Um. So basically, um, to piggyback what you're saying, authenticity is hated in this world, and you know, there's a saying, "Let your light shine." I
Mhm.
didn't know how to do that throughout the years. Um, you know, it's like when you try to speak in this world, when you try to speak out against evil,
Mhm.
evil tries to retaliate.
Right.
Or in my case, it's like I had to deal with family members that try to sweep things under the rug or come back like it's a new day. Like, hi, yeah. I
Mhm.
mean, I slapped you in your face yesterday, but today's a new day. Yeah, we're just gonna come
Right.
together, you know. So it's like that kind of warfare I had to be psychologically ready for. I had to force myself to, well, they call it gray rock, or basically detach, not try to let them get any kind of connection with me.
Mhm.
Um, but in your case, that is pretty evil to not let anybody know of a passing in the family, especially somebody who was close to you. You know, that would have infuriated me too, especially if that, because the truth be told, we all need our elders. We need
That's
good,
right.
righteous elders. You know, and for somebody to try to separate you from that or not even let you know, I totally understand where you come from. And but you know, at the end of the day, moving forward, um, you know, I think great things are coming for the Most High's people. You
Oh
know,
yes, I
so
absolutely believe that. I believe it.
um, so it's like I guess the first step was getting away from certain people, identifying certain people. Because I'm not gonna lie, Bruce, some people was very hard to identify for a very long time until they started doing certain things that woke up my mind. Like, hey, wait a minute, now I
Hmm.
really see who you are. You
Yes.
know, so I guess with some people, their abuse is real subtle, and it could take a while to actually pick up on what they're doing. And but the whole time they watching you, it makes me wonder, how can somebody whose lives is falling apart will continue to try to tell you how to live your life, tell you how to, or continually watch your life. They want to watch everything you do,
Hmm.
right? But they not focused on their lives. They're not taking care of their children. They're not focusing on the priorities that they have. Their main priority is people like us, you know. So they got
Right.
to troll. They got to troll. They got to, you know, smear campaign,
Hmm.
gang stalk. It's like we talked about before. Going on these jobs, I used to tell myself, why can't I make money in peace? Why can't I make money in peace? Why is it always a obstacle with people? But like you said, it's when that glow of truth shows up and you're not about that BS, it's like they want to tear it down in so many ways.
Oh yeah.
So, but let's see. What's a good question I can ask you? So do you believe that the love of many has waxed cold in society today?
Oh yes. Oh man. Yes. I
Hmm.
honestly believe that because there was
Hmm.
one point that I didn't want to, like, you know how you say, well, there's good people in the world. You don't want to give up on that. But looking
Hmm.
at today's standard in society, there's there's like this huge, thick, dark cloud that surrounds all over the world in our
Hmm.
communities, no matter what state or country you're at. This dark cloud has covered everywhere, and you can see the hearts of many are so wax cold, like you can't even say hello to nobody. You can't
Hmm.
walk into someone, hey, how are you? How's your day? They give you a cold, sinister death stare, you
Hmm.
know? And just like here in my neighborhood, like I personally, I mean, I don't really talk to nobody over here anyway, because I just do my thing and come right on in the house and don't go out until I have to go run errands. But it's like, it's so cold. People's
Hmm.
heart are so cold. It's like they don't have no soul. They are soulless, you
Hmm.
know? And it's just it really boggles me, like how do people go to sleep? How do they
Yeah.
wake up, go throughout their day? And I
Yeah.
and and it took me a long time to figure it out, because you know how you do puzzle, you got like 400 pieces, and it's and it takes you a while to finish those 400 pieces of puzzle, right?
Hmm.
And it took me so long to figure it out, and then it came to a conclusion, man. Why people are so heartless, why they're so cold, is because their daily lives is based on negativity. They thrive
Yeah.
on negativity,
Hmm.
and just like and just as you said, when we appear as this light, this glow that we carry, it's like everything shuts down. It shuts
Hmm.
down just like that, you know
Hmm.
because when you're dealing with people who just have cold hearts, they don't want anything that deals with fire. When it comes to
Yeah.
light, they don't want that. It's like, the sun beams your eye, like, oh man, that's too bright. They
Right.
don't want the light. You know what I'm saying? And
Hmm.
I mean, but it's true, right? It's like,
Yes.
oh my God, it's bright. Oh, get out of my face. You know, you know what I'm saying? And and then make it so bad, they, the light aggravates them. And you
Hmm.
put two together, man. When you speak the truth, it aggravates the hell out of them.
Hmm.
They don't want to hear nothing about themselves, not to try to dog them out or put them down. No, but you want to help them find themselves.
Hmm.
Okay, what can I change? How can I, become better? It's like they are
Hmm.
so afraid of change because they love the coldness. They thrive on
Yeah.
negativity. You know, it's like being um in Iceland. Okay, you go to Iceland where I mean it's cold, right? It's freaking cold over there in Iceland, you know what I mean? Like that's what people that's what they thrive on. They thrive on the coldness. And then, and I want to touch on something too on what you said on, how people can sit here and try to tell someone how to live their life and they don't look
Mhm,
at their own. This is
mhm,
what game stalkers and narcissists do. They see it's easy for them to throw shit at people. You know how you just
mhm,
pick up a feces and you throw it at people? See, it's
mhm,
so fun to them to pick up shit and throw it at other people's face, right? But when it comes
mhm,
to their own, like what they need to do to change, oh, they don't hear that. They're ready to ball up their fists and they're ready to fight you when you talk
mhm,
about the real truth about themselves. That's when they really want to
mhm,
get riled up. Like, oh man, I ain't gonna talk to me like that, man. I don't know who they think you is, man. No, I don't want to hear
mhm,
that. But when they see somebody getting kicked on the ground or get shit thrown at them, or they sit there and laugh. Oh, that's so funny.
mhm.
They love to laugh. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They'll laugh at you. But when it comes
Mhm,
to change of their own
mhm,
inner self, how to, you know, change everything about them to actually
mhm.
sit there and stop and think, oh man, what I need to do to become a better man, or what I need to do to become a better woman. They don't want that. they
Yeah.
they love the coldness. They love coldness to the max,
Mhm.
man. And
Yes,
like
sir.
and like you said too, that what really pointed me out was when you said that these are the type of people that would never change. And you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. These people, they don't want change, but they want to try to come in your life and say, "Oh well, I think you need to do this right here because where you going at?" No, like no, you have to
Yeah.
shut them down right then and there. Don't give them time to finish. Shut them down. Like
Mhm,
no, and you just, you know, you just pour out the whole truth on them. You know what I mean? And
yeah.
they'll shut up too, because there's a lot of people that I had to shut down recently. Is
Mhm,
okay, you have a you have a man living with you, and he's beating the hell out of you, but you want to go around calling people ugly. That ain't right. That ain't right,
wow.
man. How are you gonna
Wow.
sit there and talk about somebody else when you're getting beat up by your man? No, don't do that. Don't do that.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Mhm,
I don't get people. Why they love to try to thrive on someone else's life? Just like you said, they love
mhm,
to thrive on other people's lives to suck them dry and make them feel, less about themselves, like they're no good.
mhm,
When in reality, if you think about it, when people do stuff like that to you, they actually telling on themselves. They're actually
mhm.
exposing who they really are and why they go through so much shit every day. You know what I mean? And
Yes.
that's nothing but
Mhm,
truth right there, man. And the thing is, I love when people like this come to me and start talking, because it's like the more they talk, the more I have a game plan in my head to shut them down. So I just let them
mhm,
talk. But I see a weakness and I use it
mhm,
against them. See, it's like you have to think smart when you deal with these type of people. It's just let them
mhm.
talk and go in your mind and just really observe, just focus on what they're saying, and then bam,
Yeah.
out of nowhere, you will know what to do and what to say to beat them at their own game.
Yes, sir. And just to add on, I'm a guy that believes that what we put out is what we get back, because I believe that's how the energy works. So, a lot of times we get flustered by, let's say there's someone who talks down on people, but they in a high position at a job or they have a lot of money,
Hmm.
but deep down inside, outside of their job, they're nothing. Outside of their position, they're nothing. You know, and this just to tie into the world has waxed cold. There's a lot of people in a lot of positions that can help people elevate, but
Hmm.
because I would call it the American dream, the American indoctrination,
Hmm.
making people believe that because I got a PhD or because I got a master's degree, instantly I'm gonna look down on those. I'm not saying we should just deal with any and everybody,
Hmm.
because some people they like to be in filth, but some of those people have such cold hearts, but yet they hate on you when they see your glow, and you could have way less financially, you could have way less in terms of material wise, but because you're content and happy in who you are, and your genuine authenticity, it eats them up so bad on the inside, you
Oh
know.
yes, it does.
And so that's another thing I wanted to talk about. As far as the love of many has West Coast. So when people put out that negativity, it comes right back to them. But I think a lot of people now they're stuck in their wickedness. It's like there's no reaching them, you know, trying to
Right.
talk to them. You know, and it can be overwhelming sometimes because sometimes these are people that you have to see every day. Like when I
Hmm.
was in the military, the truth be told, the military is full of narcissists. I mean, at a
Oh.
young age, at a young age, I ran into all kinds of sociopaths. I mean, people who knew how to use words pretty well. But then when I look back, I'm like, well, none of that stuff worked. You know, none of that stuff worked. They tried to shame my name. They recorded me drunk a few times. They, you know, oh, he's not one of us. He's not one of us. But
Wow.
at the end of the day, they're not. They're still the same them. They haven't really changed. But you know, in this world, that's why I said in one of my short, if you evil, they graft you in. They graft you in. They welcome you with open arms. You know, when you stand in your genuine authenticity and in your glow and your aura,
Hmm.
it's like, oh, the jealousy kid. Me personally, I can't help but to like when I come around people. A lot of times, I can't help but to expose certain things within them. It's like all I have to do is just show up. And
Right.
but I think that's a gift because I think you have the same power too because of who you are and how you stand in your authority, right?
Hmm.
So I just want to, you know, let the viewers know continue to stand in your authority despite all the opposition that's coming at you
Yeah.
because at the end of the day, none of that stuff will work. You know, they could try to smear your name, they could try to set you up to get fired, they could try to uh stress you out. Once you figure out what they're doing, just like brother Bruce always say on his channel, cut them off quickly, cut them off swiftly, and continue to live your life in a positive manner, you
Amen,
know.
brother. Amen.
So I want to ask you a question. So when you, because you did mention that you are married, so how do you maintain keeping negativity outside of that? You know, because there's people out here they're in relationships. They want to know how to maintain keeping energy vampires and things like that outside of your marriage and or for some who have boyfriends or girlfriends, how do you all, because I want to know how you handle things like that.
Well, the main thing is to keep everybody out your business,
Yes,
which is
sir.
something that my wife and I we always well we make that clear, and we always keep it known when we deal with certain people, you know. But right
Mhm.
now we don't deal with too many people because there's nobody else for us to deal with.
Yes, sir.
But the thing is keep your problems private. Uh,
Hmm.
don't allow anybody. I don't care who it is. I don't care if it's your best friend from high school.
Hmm.
I've learned my lesson. Like when I was married, when I had when I was married the first time with my first wife, you know,
Hmm.
she caused so much turmoil, so much problem. It's like everybody had to come in. It's like they felt obligated to come into our business. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Because of her lies and things that she put out there, right? I mean, everybody goes through problems, you know.
Yeah.
But when it comes to abuse, our child, I'm not going to tolerate that, you know.
Hmm.
And the thing is the more you
Hmm.
don't let anybody into your private life, the less everybody knows because it's none of their business. It's just like when you try to intervene and help, what do they tell you? Mind your own business, right? So
Hmm.
it's fair for you to do the same thing. You know,
Yes, sir.
just keep everybody out your business.
Hmm.
They're gonna tell everybody your business. You know what I mean? Because
Hmm.
anytime when me and my wife when we have a disagreement, we sit down and talk. I mean, of course, it'd be like a little attitude here and there, but we'll eventually come around. There's
Hmm.
no, oh, I'm gonna do this to you, I'm gonna do that to you. No, no, we are adults. We handle like adults. We sit down and we talk. We give
Yes.
each other room to breathe. That's the main thing too, is to give each other
Yeah.
space to breathe. and then when you
Yes.
feel ready, come together and talk. And I wish I could have learned that in my first marriage, but um, everything that we go through in life and things that we face in life, it's a life lesson. You know what I mean?
Yes,
And
sir.
and it taught me a valuable lesson to become a better man than I ever was, and I am a better person than I ever been before.
Mhm.
But that's the most important thing is keep your private life private.
Yes,
That
I
way you
agree.
don't right, and that way you don't have to worry about everybody coming to your business. Or she said, or he said, she said. No, keep them out of your business because they tell you the same thing. Oh, it's not your business. Keep out of my business. So you do the same thing. You
Yeah.
know.
And I think, and just to tag along to what you're saying, a lot of relationships I had in the past, they anything I had going on between me and my partner, they told it to let's say some family members or some of their homegirls. There's some women on my channel, they were dating narcissistic men, and the narcissistic man's homeboys was all in their business and things like that. So there are empathic women that had narcissistic men. I
Hmm.
have dealt with narcissistic women where they shared everything with their homegirls. They wonder why, the homegirls is trying to get at me or try, it's just what you share with others outside of the relationship can dictate how they use that information and create an angle to try to attack it some kind of
Yeah,
way.
that's right.
So with you mentioning keep everybody out of your business, I think that includes family, that includes friends from the
Yeah.
past, because some people will gang stalk you and they try to keep tabs on you where, oh, I wonder if they're in a relationship now, or I wonder where they're living now, or is he married, oh, did they have children, nah, let's just find out what they got going on. So what you're saying is very powerful, brother Bruce. I definitely agree with everything you're saying 100%.
Oh,
Yes, sir.
absolutely. I want to just one. I mean, I want to add one more thing to this because you know there. And I'm not trying to go back to the past, whatever. But something that I've learned in my first marriage was when there's a lot of lies and about people saying, "Oh, you are abusing them," or this and that and the other. Because see, me first of all, I never had a criminal record, and I still don't have a criminal record. But
Mhm.
she put me on these trumped up charges, saying I did this, I did that to her and my son, and then guess what? It came out that hey, I didn't do any of this stuff. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And yet people believe lies, and that's where it all boils down to. The more you have people in your business, whatever goes down, it didn't matter if you did it or you didn't do it. It's like people still be mad. You know what I mean? And then it's like when
Mhm.
all the charges were dropped because I didn't do it. You're
Mhm.
thinking, okay, people are gonna come and apologize for a misunderstanding. No,
Mhm.
don't expect no apology
Mhm.
from people because when they see you, it's like, oh, they were preying on your downfall, and that's what they did with me. They preyed on my downfall. You know what I mean? And yes,
Mhm.
there are a lot of problems. There's always problems in relationship. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And if I can turn back the clock, and I wish that hey, I can build a time machine and go back in time. Who does want to go back in time and
Yeah.
fix their mistakes, right? And
Mhm.
if I had the opportunity, I would do that. You know what I mean? But hey, what's done is done.
Mhm.
And when and when the Most High, when Yahweh knows that you're innocent, you didn't do anything. That's automatic because He's our true judge. He is our
Mhm.
judge. He's our lawyer. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And throughout the whole time I was going through that ordeal, I couldn't see His hand clearly because I was so filled with anger. Like, how can she do this to me? How can she lie and say I did all these things? And I'm thinking, okay, this is a done deal. They're gonna send an innocent man up the road for something that he didn't do. But
Mhm.
Yahweh showed me his hand. He was showing me, like, no, I'm working on your behalf. The
Mhm.
devil ain't gonna do no more than he's trying to do to you. And guess what? Not guilty, not guilty, not guilty. Everything dropped.
Mhm.
you know. And it's
Mhm.
amazing what the Most High does for His chosen ones, especially when the
Mhm.
devil is just so wanting to destroy you, just like the Scripture says that he is like a lion who he may
Mhm.
seek and devour, and because all he does is steal, kill, and destroy. You know what I mean? And
Mhm.
he was trying to destroy me, but Yahweh say, "No, you will not lay a hand on my chosen.
Mhm.
No, you will not." And to
Mhm.
this day, people still hate me because the truth came out for so long. What was in the dark, it came to the light. And now my
mm,
ex-wife is arrested for
mm,
abuse and for taking my child out of the state without the state's consent. That's kidnapping, you know?
mm,
And all these years, for 8 years, I've been speaking the same truth. Everything came to the light. And now they look
mm.
stupid now. Oh, I'm the monster, remember? You know what I mean? But
Wow.
it, but
Mm,
what I'm but what I wanna but what I'm trying to say is when people come against you with a lot of accusations and lies and whatnot, I mean, of course, there's going to be, some emotional content here and there that, you're going to feel a little discouraged. But if you know in your heart that you know you're innocent, you didn't do these things, hey, keep your faith in the Most High. Know that He is working on your behalf. You
yes,
know?
sir. Hmm. Yes, sir. I definitely agree. And I'm sorry you had to go through that 8 year ordeal. I'm sure that was an intense internal battle of an experience
Oh
to
yeah.
deal with, you know. And I was married at one point myself, and it goes to show you when you're with the wrong type of person, it can really ruin a lot of things. And us as men, it can trap us in an ordeal where we'll be stressed out for years, man, for years. So you sharing that with me as well, I really appreciate that,
Oh,
Bruce. I
you're
really
welcome. You're
appreciate
welcome.
that.
You're welcome.
Do you have any questions of me, or because I'm about to call the live end?
Well, yes, yes. I do have a question. So what led you to start off your content that you have now? Your channel that you have right now, because and I
Mm,
have to say that when I first came to your channel, man, I was really impressed with a lot of things that you share, the things that like
yes, sir.
you have this embodiment of wanting to help others. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
And to bring about healing and to bring about educating people of what a narcissist is and certain things that goes on within this narcissist and how to break free from that. So what led you to start off this channel?
Sorry. My journey was, well, my journey has been a lifelong journey, but there was from 2010 to 2020 was some of the roughest years of my life. My 20s was rough, and but I think during my 20s was where I had to be developed into the person that I am now to be able to share. Um, but just the simple fact that I didn't like seeing people being targeted, I didn't like seeing people being bullied, especially seeing young kids being bullied by soulless mothers or soulless fathers or soulless siblings. Um, it made me want to speak out and to encourage people that yes, you've been through narcissistic abuse, but the reason why they came at you or came at me or came at everybody who's watching is because we are very powerful individuals. So that's the kind of stuff that I wanted to share and remind people of, that no matter what they try to do, we bounce back from everything. That's why I made the video about resilience, because we are quite resilient people, because the truth be told, those evil folks, those narcissists, they cannot take what they dish out. That's why whenever we retaliate, they get real sensitive. But they quick to call
Oh
you
yeah,
sensitive. They quick to call you weak. Oh, get some thick skin. But they skin is can peel like a banana. You
that's
know.
right.
So so I just wanted to share my experiences with those who decide to subscribe to the channel, and I hope everybody who's watching subscribe to Brother Bruce's channel, Break Free from Narcissistic Abuse. He has powerful content because we are warriors on the front line sharing our experiences to
Hmm.
help others, and it's something positive. Um, I'm in the business of healing, and you are also, Brother Bruce. And so when we came together to collab, I was like, let's do it. Let's
Right.
do it.
Yes.
You know?
Right.
So,
Hey. And you know what?
so
And I look forward to do more with you because Like
Yes,
my
sir.
brother always say, things happen for a reason, and I believe
Yes,
that
sir.
Yahweh brought us together for a reason, for His purpose. And
Yes,
I
sir.
say, let's do it together. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
Whether it's one or two or more, hey, it's for His glory. You know what I mean? And I
Yes,
tell
sir.
people all the time on my channel, look, don't look at me as a guru or someone that's trying to come off on you, or no, I'm just me. What you see on my videos, those who are here on this live, when you go to my channel and you watch whether one or two videos, you will see who I am now. I am the same who I am now, and throughout the rest of my life, I don't change. You know what I mean? Because me trying to do fancy things, no, I just let people know this is the real raw Bruce. This is who I am. I'm
Mhm.
not here to please anybody with any sweet talk or soft spoken kind of thing. No, I don't do that. My
Yes,
cousin, he had a joke one time. He said, "I don't spill any tea. I spill Hennessy." I'm like, "What are you talking
sir.
about?" But then, but then, but then I got the meaning. What he said when he
Yeah.
when he's playing. He
Yeah.
said, "Bruce, you may be laughing now, man, but I'm about to tell you, man. You gonna like, okay, now I get it. Tea
Mhm.
refers to sweetness, because when you
Sweet.
drink tea, it's
Mhm.
sweet, right? But when you drink
Mhm.
Hennessy, it's very strong.
Yeah.
So basically, tea represents sweetness, and Hennessy represents truth. You know what I
Yes,
mean?
sir.
So I
Mhm.
got it. I'm like, okay, so now I see what you're
Yes.
saying. When you say Hennessy, you're talking about the truth, not drinking, but you speaking truth. But when
Yeah.
you say you don't spill tea, you don't spill any sweetness. No, I don't do that on my channel, man. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And I feel like some people get offended by what I speak on. Look, how they feel has nothing to do with me. You know what I mean? So I speak
Yes, sir.
from in here, from my heart. You know.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I thank you for sharing that, brother Bruce. Well, all right, y'all. This is Times with the Narcissist Explain. Brother Bruce, do you have any last words you would like to say to the
Uh,
people?
I would like to say thank you all so much for taking the opportunity to, stick around. I know some of you may be busy doing other things, but hey, it's okay. I'm sure this video will be uploaded on his channel that you can rewatch, share, comment. Please visit my channel if you feel the need to, come check me out. Please feel free to do
Yes,
so.
sir.
You have that right to subscribe. I'm a very nice person. Just you know, I believe in respect. If you treat people with respect, you will get that in return, right? So,
Yes.
you're welcome to come to my channel anytime.
Yes. And his channel is called Break Free from Narcissistic Abuse.
Yes.
Those of you who are watching, I hope you all enjoyed the content. I enjoyed this collaboration, brother. And those of you who came to watch, thank you all so much. But y'all be safe out there and enjoy the rest of your night. I'm gonna try to upload this as soon as possible. But I love you all, and brother Bruce, thank you so much for coming on. Your presence, I'm glad. I love it. Thank you so much, brother.
You're welcome, brother. Anytime. Anytime you want to do another one, just let me know.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you so much. All right,
You're
y'all.
welcome.
Bye bye now.
Good night.